New bike day. Some people complained on my last video about the audio quality, which is completely fair enough. I did buy a new microphone and it's much worse than the iPhone camera, and I've only got an iPhone. I filmed this unboxing video last week, and due to my complete lack of video related skills, I lost half the footage somehow. But I wanted to preface the video by saying every time I get a new bike, I naturally just think of it in the eyes of a complete beginner, someone that doesn't know anything about bikes. So I always think that a bike should be, especially a direct sale brand bike, you shouldn't need anything. You order the bike online, it comes to your house, you get on it, you can go riding. And Canyon has done a very good job of this. Now this is already a very good start. Paperwork on top, in position, saddle, everything looks good. Survived the Italian postal service. All this wind is not going to help the sound quality, but if you don't like it, don't watch it, or go to ko-fi.com and buy me a coffee, because all proceeds go towards this project. I've literally got nothing else to spend my money on or do except this, so any coffee's welcome. Yeah, all money goes towards Bike Farm, either paying filmers in the future or buying some better equipment myself. I've had these saddles before, really good. Designed in conjunction with FMD Racing before they were sponsored by Canyon, and Uncle Fab. Great saddle. It's one of the best features is the foam comes all the way around the sides and there's no sharp edges, which is something you definitely want on a downhill bike when the saddle's banging around between your legs quite a lot. There's a heavy box of goodies. There must be some good stuff in there. Now, both the rotors on the discs are packed against the outside of the box. So hopefully they're still straight. The cassette is packed inside an extra box on the inside against the frame. So yeah, all looks good so far. Need the bike stand. Oh, this is so heavy. Now I'm hoping there's some tools in one of those boxes, otherwise I've got to go and get my toolbox. Yeah, let's. So this was the heavy box from before. Little book. That's Sam Hill. Ah, I know her, Tane Seagrave. I used to coach Tane back when she was younger, living in Morzine. I literally taught her everything I know. And then she got a good coach, Chris Kilmurray, 0.1 athletic, and started getting some good results. Nice little booklet. Anti-slip compound and little tool. Now that is pretty cool. That is a torque wrench, analog torque wrench. That is great. Just twist it to the right number, and then the little bits to go with the tool. Front and rear axles. There's no way I'm going to be able to put all this back in the box in the right way. Ah, a little bag. I guess that's to keep all this stuff in once you've finished with the box. Well, the wind is horrific, but I have to do this today. I'm going away tonight. I'm going to ride this thing tomorrow, hopefully. And the only thing I could really complain about on this bike so far is the use of sort of single-use plastics in the packaging, which at least the bike box is solid and usable more than once if you're going to fly or post it on to the new owner. But there are a lot of brands now shouting about not using any single-use plastics for their bike packaging, which is great. But if you're a company that's getting carbon fibre bikes, which are literally made of plastic in China, then you get it shipped to Europe or America to build the bike, to assemble the bike in Europe or America instead of China, to get around the anti-dumping laws, then you probably need to get off your high horse. If you're a brand making bikes and shipping them locally, not using any single-use plastic, that is fantastic. I can agree with all that stuff. And also, if you're buying a bike for €6,000 like this, your priority is going to be more on a good value bike than saving the world. Obviously, we would all like to save the world, but that just gets more expensive. A carbon, one of the two carbon frames that are made in Europe, so Uno or Antidote, there's probably some more, but two downhill frames. They cost €5,000 each for the frame, I think without shock, so you've got to be rich to save the world, unfortunately. Again, this is quite handy, and it's stapled onto the frame, so you can't ignore it. You have to rip it off before you can ride the bike. And this has got sag indicators, pressure, chain length, how to check your chain length, and which reach cups you can use on the frame. But the reason for that guide is if you put the short headset cups in, and the bottom out, the crown can hit the head tube here, and that would not be a nice thing to do. More warning signs. This is all obviously if you're an experienced mountain biker, you would check all this anyway, but this is really good. Like I said at the start of the video, these bikes should be reviewed, I think, for people who've never bought a bike before. If this turned up at my dad's house, he's never built a bike, doesn't have any bike tools, doesn't know anything about bikes, apart from the crap that he reads in mine. So far, he would have been able to get this bike and he would have had no problems and wouldn't need any tools to get to this point, so good. To add to the wind problem, someone started cutting grass, which no one lives here. Only when the camera comes out does the noise start. The stem's already been greased with the carbon slip. I'm getting a bit frustrated now. There's literally nothing to complain about except the fork bump stops. I don't know why they're not on, but the only reason I can think of is to make you take the crown off and put them on yourself. I need to double check that everything's assembled properly, not sure. The stem and bars actually have markings that are usable and line up properly with the product, except I had this problem on the last bike already. The markings for the brake lever stopped before the brake lever, which on the Canyon Spectral I was riding a few weeks ago, that had the same problem. I knew there's a reason why the fork bumpers weren't installed. I've worked it out. Because the frame's got built-in fork bumpers. Perfect. This tool is great. You don't want to use it full time in the workshop, but for a beginner to get your bike going, it's great. You just twist it until the needle hits the right torque. And it gives you a really good sense of how much force you have to put in for different torques. So windy. Everything is marked with torque readings and even the little short, long. Found a chink in the armour of Canyon. Recommended torque on the rear axles 15 to 20 newton meters. This thing only goes up to 12, but it is pretty obvious how far past to go, so we'll let them off. Even the axles are greased. So they give you the packet of grease, which is great, or the packet of carbon slip, and the only thing you need it for is the seat post. So I filmed that video last week and I've lost most of the footage, but making the best of it that I can. Sound quality is terrible, sorry, but we're in this together to give some independent reviews. So this is what we've got to work with at the moment. Hopefully we're going to improve the videography soon, but at the moment we've got to live with it. On a positive note, 10 out of 10 so far for the sender. Perfectly packed, easy to put together, comes with all the tools. A couple of tiny problems. The torque wrench, which is great, won't fit between the chain stays to tighten up the brake mount. It's too long, so you need your own 5 or 6mm Allen key, but you should have a set of Allen keys really. Even if you're new to the sport, go and buy some good ones. I recommend Vera or Beta if you've got some money. The headset cup, so it says you can't use the -8mm headset cup with a RockShox fork. 2 of the senders have RockShox, 2 of them have Fox. So you can't, it says you can't use the -8 cup, which I would say is a bit misleading, but they don't really talk about the headset cups on the Canyon website, and it's not on the geometry chart that you can change it. So maybe they've realised that that's a problem and they've stopped promoting that. Don't know. But I did buy the extra large thinking that would go a bit shorter and do a few other things to modify the bike. If you plan to size up with a boxer bike and you want to go shorter, that could be a problem, but it needs more investigating in the first ride video. The price, now this is not anything to do with Canyon. This is aimed at the Brexit customers, British customers after Brexit. Canyon have done a great job. If you order in the UK, all the taxes and stuff are paid for, and it should just go straight through customs and to your door nice and easily. But there is a Brexit dividend surcharge to pay. Price for this bike was €5,799 plus shipping, the box, and a few other bits and pieces. If you buy it in the UK, £6,299, which I've just done the exchange rate, €7,363. So it's €1,564 more to buy it in the UK, which is a big difference, a big percentage. I remember when I was younger, a lot of people would fly to America when the exchange rate is really good, buy US made bikes in Santa Cruz, have a free riding holiday, fly back to the UK with the bike dirty and not declare it to customs. Now, I'm not saying that anyone should do this, but if you ordered your bike and sent it to Morzine, for example, and then you drove to Morzine and had a week's holiday with, let's say, my friends at MTB Beds, this is not a paid for promotion, but just for example, you could go and have a week's bike holiday, pick up your bike, ride it, and then drive home. You're probably not going to get checked and it'll be covered in dirt. I'm not recommending that, but that is something that you could possibly consider. And my only other query is the quick start guide, which is the only thing I can find about setting up the bike. Fox forks, it gives you recommended pressure for your weight. SRAM, it just says use the sag indicator on fork, but it doesn't suggest a sag that you should be aiming to get to. For the shock, it's got pressure for Fox and RockShox for your weight, so we'll see how that goes. It doesn't tell you what sag you should be aiming for, and I can't find any more information on Canyon website or the YouTube channel. That's it, no problems, it looks fantastic, super good attention to detail, little cable clips, the frame protection around the chain on the rear triangle. Can't see any problems with it so far. So come back for the next video for the first ride, and thanks for watching.